Yep. Good luck to everyone participating. So
yeah, there we are.
We have very different cutscene maneuvers from these guys. Fitz and Debs just staring off at those red apples, and Louie and Shady not liking that red apple, making their way for that green one.
I disown you, red apple.
Very important. I personally am also a big fan of the green apple instead of the red apple.
Yeah, the gray Smiths usually are very tasty.
And that slight tartness is always a pleasure to me.
When this became an Apple stream?
Welcome to Speed Cooking, everybody.
There's only so much you can talk about in YI2, you know? Though Shady, very briefly losing his speed there at the very end. Not going to make too big of a difference. He lost an in-game second. Very, very minimal.
Oh, here's the logical assumption from chat. Green apple is Luigi, red apple is Mario. But enough about apples. We have Yoshi's Island 3 to talk about here.
Our runners ideally want to get that 2:59 time.
Yeah, the 2:59 time is major. To get it, you got to be running on those brown platforms pretty much the entire way through. When you're running on those brown platforms, the brown platform moves you over a few pixels as you're running along it. It speeds you up just slightly. It gives you a few extra frames and lets you get that 2:59 instead of that 2:58. And all four of our guys here.
See from all of our four guys, indeed.
Beautiful.
All right, our run is going to Yoshi Island 4 with a lot of ease, as you can see.
Yep,
and Louis actually getting a 276.
Yeah, we have a 276. Everyone else with a 275. Louis got a 276. Really good time. Now we're going into Iggy's castle. We're going to have, again, the first castle. We don't see two of the castles in this run. We don't see I think it's Lemmy, and we don't see Larry. But the other castles we do end up seeing over the course of this run. So we will be seeing 5 of these here. And Louis is just slightly ahead going into the Crusher room.
Yeah, we're going to see all our guys grabbing the fire flower. They're going to be using it to take down the boss, and ideally they're going to carry it with them all the way through to Castle 5, which is Roy. It really speeds up the boss kills. It makes Iggy a little bit easier. It's really worthwhile to keep around through that first 2/3-ish of the game.
We have 2 241s and 2 240s. Idaz was goofing around with the mushroom and lost the mushroom that he had in spare, so he has no spare item right now. He will get the cape soon, though, so that will be changed quickly.
And we got all our forerunners going into Donut Plains quite simultaneously here. We're going to see how much flight speed is going to depend on who's going to take a small lead here.
Well, we have 3 of them airborne. All 4 of them are now airborne. And, oh, Fitz got stuck on the clouds. Yeah. Oh, that's not good. So Fitz is now back with Shady Forest a little bit. They're both slightly behind. The other
Dab's getting a 362.
The other 2 runners are a little bit ahead. And this is the slow portion of the Donut Plains area in the water. We're going to hop up the pipe there. We're going to get a shell, and we're going to go a lot faster after that.
Looks like all our runners are going for dry room, and everyone's successfully grabbing the shells here.
All the runners are taking the dip underneath. You can actually go down under that stage without dying, but if you go much lower than that, you do die.
Yeah, it's very scary. There are plenty of times where you'll be under there, or you'll think you're just barely getting under there, but your toes actually hit the death zone. There are plenty of times where you'll bump your head. If you accidentally let go of the item, you'll just drift down into there. It's very scary. Very worthwhile, though. It does end up being a little safer than trying to deal with the fish up top and trying to maneuver around.
Oh, casually, I did Soda Lake that way. I just hated Soda Lake. So yeah, that's it is very scary because you're off screen. You don't know where you are. You just have to hope that you don't have any kind of mismovement and end up touching the death area.
Yeah. One thing that helps me personally is I turn up my volume while I'm there, and I make sure I listen for Mario's head hitting the top of that platform before I start moving much further, just in case. If you listen closely, you can hear every head bonk that Mario makes. Now we're flying through Donut Plains 3. I wonder what it looks like underneath all this green.
I'm sure it just looks like more green. And time to take flight in another stage that we're not really going to get to see. Except for a couple of piranha plants.
I always like seeing the little parachute Goombas.
Yeah, I wanted to say that this stage looks easy enough, but if you tap left and you're not gonna watch these Goombas flying around, you might get hit and lose your flying there. So
yeah, that level is, we say just a flyover, but there is asterisk on some of these levels, like that one where it is just a flyover, but you got to get in the right vertical, otherwise you might start hitting things.
Yeah, especially if you're trying to fly at the very top of the screen, you're very bound to get hit by one of these Goombas. So we see Louie bringing the trampoline quite swiftly.
Oh, it looks like Fitz did not get that fly up Morton's, so he's going to lose a cycle or two trying to get back up there.
Adams also was very good with that trampoline. He's only about 1 or 2 seconds behind here.
Yes, we got Dabs and Louie defeating Morton right here, and Shady also.
Dabs gained a second on Louie. He had a 357. Louie's 356.
Yeah, but there goes Fitz doing his Morton kill. So everyone's still relatively close to each other. We're all within the same stage still.
And all
still
four
anyone's
players,
game.
And all 4 players have Kung Fu, the castle.
Most importantly, though, everyone still has their cape. And really, that's what's going to make the biggest deal here.
Yes, Dabs and Louie successfully getting flight in Vanilla Dome 1 here.
Shady not far behind him at all.
Fitz just entering the stage. We got Dabs attempting to fly up in Vanilla Secret 1 here. Seems like Louie is a little bit ahead of our man iDabs here.
I gained a little time in the stage. I think he's ahead a little further than he was coming in. So he has a few seconds lead here. The other 2 runners are still a little bit behind. Race is not over, though. Anything can happen. Oh, that was not even using the spring. Fitz just had a nice skip there with the Cooper shell he took with him.
Yeah, Fitz is looking for some of those smaller time saves where he can try and get right back up with Dabs and Louis.
And iDabs and Louis are flying again. And so is Shady Force.
Yeah, so we're up on top of the mountain. What we see here tends to be flyovers and Vanilla Fortress. So kick back, relax, watch some interesting flight. You'll see some bombs flying out of the sky. You'll see some bouncing Koopas. And of course, you'll see Mario trying to hit that 51 flight speed and tap left. And for those of you just joining, this is the No Star World tournament. These guys are trying to reach Bowser, defeat Bowser without using Star World. It's about a 35 to 40 minute category, depending on your skill.
And for those interested, these qualifiers are still open. This is the last one for this session, so there won't be any following this right now. But there are some qualifiers for those of you who are either night owls here in the Eastern time zone or anywhere in North America, South America, or for those of you who are more overseas in Europe, Asia, Australia, in those areas who want to take part in the tournament as well. This is those of you may want to get your shot in at the qualifiers this evening at 3 a.m. this evening Eastern time. So that's in about 9 hours from now that those qualifiers will get underway.
Yeah, correct. I think it starts at 9 p.m. for me, as I am joining in tomorrow from Europe here.
Nice.
And if that time doesn't work for you, there's also the Wednesday session and the Thursday session happening in afternoon, evening-ish, if I remember correctly. But schedule's all there. Hit that exclamation mark SMW. Get in that Discord. Just keep an eye out. If you just, even as a spectator or a player, if you're interested, those are the links you need. Those are the links you want. And
we
we're
got
going to see
Louis
a very
defeating
nice
wrestler. Oh, we got Shady missing a jump there. Having to take a little bit more time to defeat the wrestler.
But the Rhinos do fall, and all runners have moved on to the Butter Bridge, which, ladies and gentlemen, get your resident sleepers in chat. This is going to be a 2-minute forced auto scroller.
Yeah, this is everyone's favorite stage. As you can see, our runners are casually tapping left to finish Butter Bridge 1 here. Looks like Shady is going for the platforming strats together with Fitz, as all of our runners here are in the stage right now, as you can see how long it actually takes.
Louis used the 2-up strat again there.
Yes, but this is one of the longest stages. It's one of the slowest stages. You don't want to let your mind wander through this thing, because if you do, it could be costly. Accidentally make a mistake and you're back in here for another minute and a half.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that. You gotta take this stage seriously, even though it's strolling by really slow.
Yeah, if anything, once I hit this level, that's where I really start to focus in. You really don't want to be sitting in this level for 4 minutes total.
You know, any auto scroller level, you can't, like, I know in the randomizer they can sometimes take the scroll away from this level, make it a much quicker level. But in the vanilla game, you have to do the auto scroll every single time. It just makes it so much slower to have to play it this way. And even when I was playing casually, this level can just be very technical. If you don't have a cape, it can be a very challenging level to go through without that cape.
Oh yes, even not being big can make things a little weird depending on what you're used to when you're going through. The cape definitely takes some of the stress off, though.
We got Louis taking the lead here as he is already flying through Butterbridge 2 for a while.
Yeah, we're flying again. There's something down there. We don't know what because it's off the screen.
I have no idea if you guys heard that in my background. I apologize.
I heard something there.
Yeah, something like an alarm.
I have a very there's a very rude person that lives near me with a very loud vehicle.
Say no more.
As we got our runners going into Ludwig Castle here. Louis getting the flying strat in room 2.
Very beautiful. You love seeing that strat go well.
Idab's not getting flight speed here, so he's gonna have to stroll normally as he has to dodge the fireballs as they get in his way. And Louis already finishing up on this castle here. And Dab's also finishing up here as Shady is climbing the Fitz defeating Ludwig quick with a pew pew jump.
And all 4 runners are through Ludwig just like that. Pew pew.
Alright, we got Louis starting Force of Illusion 1 here. He's gonna try and pick up flying so he can take the Yoshi to the next stage, which is needed for a trick.
It's a very important trick too.
I am wondering if we're going to see Louis trying that downwards flying strat again, which got him killed in the last run. Seems to be a success for him now as he goes for wings.
Oh,
First try.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Real nice way to redeem himself from a mistake that was made in the last run. For me personally, though, it feels good to getting a certain strat that messed me up. And Dab's losing the shell. Not being able to get wings there.
It looks like Fitz is going for his turn. Fitz getting it. First try. Well done. And Shady making it through the level himself, not attempting it, which isn't a big loss. I'm going to point out to you guys that those wings only save 6 or 7 seconds. It's kind of risky. The attempt ends up losing a couple seconds if you fail. So risk versus reward. And it's obviously going to reward a couple of our players here very well.
Yeah, they gained some time in the Force of Illusions 2. Now we're having Fitz trying to do the clip right now. He does get in. It looks like Shady Force is having a little more difficulty with that clip, but he is also in.
There we go. All of our runners are swimming inside of the wall right now.
If you want to know what it's like swimming inside of a wall, it's very, very crushed.
As our runner Louis takes the going into Force of Illusion 3, which is basically a flyover stage, and get into that last pipe right there to grab the key and finish the stage like that.
Ooh, Shady Force actually swam under the goal. Had to go back and hit the goal normally.
Yeah, that's the thing too. The goal does not go into the floor as it does reach up.
In some cases, it's possible to fly over the goal too if you fly too high.
Yep.
Exactly. As the hitbox for the goal is pretty large on the top side, but there's nothing down, so...
Yeah, but it's also not stretching all the way up either, which is why sometimes you can miss it like that. Very strange.
Looks like Louis has no problem flying to Roy's castle here as he goes into the fight already.
And we're in Roy flight. On IDAB's side, Louis has already finished the stage. IDAB's is through the lava fire section on the first try. Will he get over? Yes. Fitz takes flight. And very nicely done in the lava section. Now for the spikes. And he's through. And Shady Forest is through. They all get through Roy's castle cleanly. As long as Shady Forest can get over that last lip, he did.
Oh,
everyone
beautiful.
clean.
Oops. Little bump there for Shady. Not a big deal. It's getting through.
As all of our runners are seeming to have a pretty good run so far.
Yeah, this is the kind of race you love to watch. Everyone's basically within a stage of each other.
Also,
Plenty of room still to catch up.
And make sure you follow the runners today. Some of them have been here for the entire time. Some of them only for a race or two. But whatever the case may be, they're doing their best to qualify for this tournament. And they're at the same time they're putting on a show for you guys to watch and for us to watch and talk about. So make sure you follow these runners. They certainly deserve your support.
Oh yeah! Shout out to the runners. Shout out to the restreamer. Shout out to us. Shout out to chat. Shout out to everyone, honestly, because this whole thing doesn't happen without everyone, you know?
Yeah, can we get some love in chat because everyone's doing a great job.
Yeah, let's get some love for everyone. Chat, give yourself some love. Give us some love. Give the runners some love. We are having a great day.
I'm interested to see how Dabs is going to handle the flying here. Is he going to forcefully spin on top of the fishing Eerie here?
That's what it looks like he's doing. Definitely a scary strat.
As you cannot damage boost through, but he safely gets into the door. Gets the damage boost there too. And very successful ghost house for Dabs there. Fitz also getting the damage boost, and Shady, you're flying the Eerie right there.
Ooh, that was a nice little item fly with from Louis there.
Yeah, Louis is doing really good so far. As you can tell, he's going into Chocolate Secret already and is almost a full level ahead of the rest of the runners here.
This is a great run for Louis. Louis is the, I believe, the fastest PB of all of our runners that we've seen on the stream today, as far as I'm aware. Louis has a time only, I think it was set about 4 seconds behind the actual world record. He's a 32.58 is his PB.
Yes, he is right there with them. And for those who don't know, the world record holder is also in this tournament. And has been doing qualifier matches over the last few days as well. Actually, I think, 3 or 4 of the top 5 are in this, so you're going to see some absolutely amazing races happening.
And I misspoke. It's actually 32.56 Louis' time, so even faster than I originally said. The world record is 32.52.
Yeah, that is correct.
Just to give an idea of the times of our other runners on the restream right now, I believe Dabs is 33rd on the leaderboard with 33.53. I did see Fitz on here earlier. Fitz is...
Oh no, Shady having a little bit of trouble with those buzzies. Losing one of his capes.
Oh my.
Luckily, he has that other one to back it up, so...
And Fitz is a 33.18 I saw on here as well.
Yes, and then I believe Shady has a 35.04, so these guys are all pretty close to each other.
3502 is what I'm showing for Shady. So yeah, he is on there as well.
So we can see Louis getting the flight strat in Wendy's castle here. And going into the boss fight right there. Some of you might not know, you can actually see where Wendy is spawning from. If you look at the bottom of the pipes, you can sometimes see her feet just tingling right there. She's going to tell you where she's going to pop up.
And we're getting a treat from Dabs with a nice fly through Wendy. She's just showing us how it's done. Fits right behind him. Fits option for pure spins and looking great.
Making it look easy, but I guarantee you these stages that we're doing now are not easy.
As we move forward through this category, I always see the later half of this run, the difficulty really goes up.
Yeah, the back half is definitely where things start to change. And that's where you really got to get the focus on.
So see iDabs wipe the castle clean. Fitz is about to do the same, and Shady Force is right behind them. And we are now entering the sunken ghost ship, and that means you're going to soon be hearing grown men uttering magical 3-letter words.
Bro?
Yeah, that's one of them.
There's a mystical item in the sunken ghost ship that only exists legally in the sunken ghost ship. We're gonna.
Louis gets 1 despawn ship here. Tried to go swim underneath the boost, but having to go for a damage boost there.
And Louis dodging that star as he goes into the falling room. What that'll do for him is it's going to save some of the lag that star will cause with all the effects coming off him.
Okay, and here we go with the magical moment. 3, 2, 1.
Orb.
Orb.
Yeah, so everyone get your orbs ready in chat. We've got 3 more of those coming up. Blow up that chat. Just throw out your question mark parentheses. Throw out your orbs. Throw out your bros, your RBOs, your whatever other combination you decide to make of those letters. So we got 2 of them on deck right here, back to back.
Here comes the second one.
Orb.
Orb. Orb.
Orb.
Orb.
Oh, and here comes the 4th, just right behind him. Get that. Blow it up, chat. Blow it up.
I'll take this one. 4 clean orbs.
Orb. And as we learned last race, we're not 100% sure on the origin still. It's just sort of a thing that everyone's kept going out of tradition.
Because
unless
why
anyone
not?
in chat has more information, then please let us all know.
More information about the orb, you say? Well, the orb has been in the game since SMB3, I believe. You have these fortresses where you also grab an orb to finish the stage.
That's always in the fortresses, yep.
We got Louis dying on
Louis.
the Qualifier. I wasn't quite sure what he was trying.
Actually, the ghost ship is a reference to the Super Mario Bros. 3, the sunken ship. Is a reference to Super Mario Bros. 3. This is where the ship basically sunk, I guess you could say, and because it was an SMB3 themed ship, that's why you see the orb on it. So I think that's the whole reason behind the orb in this game to start with.
Well, case closed then. We have Fitz and Dabs both surviving this slide in the sandbar there. Both of them not going for sandbar clip, as it is a very risky clip.
Yes, and as we've seen throughout the runs, pretty much all day, all qualifier sessions really, is that, you know, some people are able to back out of it, but it is a very tight window to back out if you don't think you're going to get it.
Louis saves a few frames waiting for the block, and actually gets out of the pipe a little sooner than would be expected, so it gets slightly further ahead because of it. And 3 of our runners are in the same room in Vanilla, in Valley of Bowser 2 right now. They're all leaving that room right now, moving into the Fortress. We have a race to the back door, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes, everyone just right there.
This is anyone's race right now.
It's looking really tight indeed. The court is definitely going to show us if one of the races is going to fall back or not.
Yeah, Dab's only one section behind Louis, and Fitz just right on Dabs' heels.
And
Shady
also
just right
getting into the
behind
fort
as
now.
well. Like, these guys are so close.
Louis
I'm really excited.
Really accelerating race, guys.
I'm holding myself back from like yelling into the mic at these guys out of excitement because this is turning out pretty good. Oh no!
Oh, Dabs losing the cape right
Ooh.
there. Quickly picks up his spare cape.
Good
As
save.
Yeah,
Louis
good
is the
thing he
first
still
one
has
to go
that.
into Bowser's castle.
Good thing he still had that cape. That would have been scary.
Oh, but that cape
You
loss.
got to give him an opportunity to try and do cape kill in the Bowser
Fitz
fight.
barely
This-
edging ahead of Dabs now.
This is going to come down to Bowser fights, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have a good race here for this last one today. This is the 6th of 6 races going on in this qualifier session in the Super Mario World No Star World Tournament qualifiers.
Oh, and
Louis is
Dabs
on-
taking a death there in the dark room as he first loses his cape.
Oh no!
So Louis is on the Bowser fight. Fitz and Shady Force are right behind with their own capes, and IDAB is going to have a slightly slower version of the fight coming up.
Yes, we got Louis already going into phase 2. As Fitz still has to hit Bowser one more time. This is looking really tight, guys.
Yeah, it's basically a Bowser hit that's separating the two at this point. This is very back and forth this whole time with all 4 of these guys just moving around, shuffling it up, keeping it interesting. I'm actually curious about Shady's pace right now.
This could be a PV pace for him, possibly, I think.
I think so. It's very likely.
Based on the leaderboard, unless he just hasn't submitted some other times in the last year or so. Unless he hasn't submitted some times, this would definitely be a good PV pace.
As Louis is waiting for the fireballs to drop to go into phase 3. Gonna hit Bowser to get the bounce skip.
One Mecha Koopa and he can take this qualifier.
And there we go, Louis finishing with a 3-3-4 in the SRI.
GG Louis. Very well done.
GG to Louis in the chat. We get some GGs.
Didn't quite catch that, but I heard Louis first place 33:44 was the official time. Fitz is just behind him 33:56. And it looks like Shady Force will be likely finishing soon as he is going into phase 3 of the fight right now. Unless he gets sniped by someone else, he is going to possibly be our 3rd place finisher. Let's find out what happens here.
Oh, it looks like Dabs only got his last hit left. And there it goes for
Oh,
Dabs.
wow.
No cape.
Oh, wow.
34-23.
Gentlemen.
Shady with that hot potential PB. I'm not going to say for sure because I don't know for sure, but judging by the colors, judging by what I know.
Uh-huh.
I can
Congrats to
confirm
Shady
Ah.
Force for his
PB.
I think that's
There
a
we
PB.
go.
We'll have to ask him.
So, GG all the runners, and
That
Ben
was
is
your top
confirming.
4, ladies and gentlemen. That was your top 4 runners in this qualifier that we had on this last race today. So get your GGs in chat for these 4. They were the top 4 in this qualifier. And just to confirm those times officially, 34:26 was Dabs, Shady Force 34:29 for his official time. Silver Stars, who we saw several times already today, came in with a 34:42. And it looks like Venom Play did come in 6th time of 35:56. So get your GGs in for them as well. We'll see if we can get these guys in here to talk about the qualifiers today. We want to see how they feel about the qualifier runs they played in today.
Yeah, I just want to personally congrats Shady Force on the huge PB. That was incredible to see that.
That was a huge PB.
Yeah,
I have
very well
extended the
done.
invite to all our runners. Hopefully I haven't missed anybody out, but anybody wants to pop in and have a quick chat about your run.
And that's Ben joining us again for the interview segment here today.
Can I chat about my run real quick?
Go ahead.
Yes.
So I finished one run and I forfeit a second one today. And the first one was very close to BB pace. And then where did I lose it all? I lost it all in VOB 1. And it was very, very sad. I was very upset. And I sadly carried those emotions with me into the second race and had to forfeit in World 2.
Ugh.
Oof.
So, not the best time, but I had fun with it. Regardless, and then hopping into here, it's always great. So
Yeah, I remember everyone that we got these qualifier races coming up this night actually for people in the Eastern Standard Time. It's starting at 3 a.m. Also Wednesday and Thursday, we're gonna have more of these qualifier races. It's been really exciting so far, so I'm definitely keen to see more of our runners playing this week.
Okay, I wanted to get our first runner in here. Shady Force is joining us now. Congratulations, Shady Force, on what I believe is a massive PB. Are we correct on that?
Yeah, 36-second PB.
Very, very nice. Congrats.
Yes,
Thanks so much.
Shady.
Was that your only qualifier today?
No, I did one just before, and I missed PB by 5 seconds. So I actually made up for it this time.
Oh, so you
Very,
were
very nicely done.
Yeah, big congrats again. Were you nervous at all?
Yes, but this is probably the 3rd time I've entered Valley on PB pace. So eventually you're going to settle down and actually just put together a decent Valley, you know. So the experience of choking the previous few, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to clutch it out and get a nice PB. So, which I did.
Yeah, I can even relate to looking at the stream being, well, I was 4th at least yesterday, and seeing that close just makes you so much more nervous as well, to be holding your own against the top players. So yeah, big congrats again. That's incredible.
And holding your own and showing that you're not someone who's going to back down. You're going to bring it to them, and if they mess up, you can obviously steal 1 or 2 from them. So they're going to have to keep their eye on you, having seen you just get that PB. We also are joined now by Silver Star, who was not in this qualifier, but was in, I think, 3, maybe 4, but I know at least 3 of our races that we had on earlier this afternoon. How are you doing afterwards?
I think might have been on 5 restreams.
Yeah, I was on the 5. I just missed the first one because I had breakfast.
I see. Okay.
4 then, yeah.
Yeah, I was especially salty after this last one because I knew that Louis would he would do anything to get that world record, so he would even go for the backup clip and probably die to it. And so I knew after I got Sandbar clip, I was ahead out of VOB 2, and then Reznor decided to snipe me, and I died.
Oof. Yeah, you did come 5th in this run with a 34:42, I noticed. So again, a really good series of qualifiers. Those are all still really respectable times. And it's great that only the top 3 qualify. So even if you have a bad run, the other ones don't get held against you in any way. So I think you are still in pretty good shape for this tournament. We look forward to seeing you in the going throughout this tournament, as well as I have feeling your run's just gonna get better and better as we go.
Yeah, I definitely feel warmed up now. It's really nice to feel warmed up. It's just that it hurts so much to see these good runs just completely fall apart to Valley of Bowser. Not even necessarily to my fault.
Yeah, sometimes it could be even just be that clip in the Forest of Illusions 2 that sometimes causes problems. We had a couple runners who had to go 6 or 7 or 8 times trying to get that done today, and it was just massive time loss. But again, it's obviously a lot quicker than doing the stage the normal way, so you're still going to do that.
Yeah, I think my stats on the Yoshi clip was actually 5 for 5. I didn't even get kicked out by bad luck today.
Yeah, you seem to be doing well with that. You seem to be doing well with that in the ones that we saw today. You did really well with that today. Knowing that we're also being joined by Fitz1889 from the last couple of races here. How are you doing after those runs?
Hey guys, how's it going? Thank you for all the commentary in the restream. What is up?
Yeah, those races certainly didn't disappoint. How are you feeling after this?
I feel great. It's the kind of races that you have to say, well, at least I had a good time, because they didn't go that well. But I was so nervous. So I guess I've kind of got through that a little bit now. So that's really good to have done that. And the first race I did wasn't that bad. I just had a couple of massive time losses. Other than that, I don't think it was far off 32 pace. Of course, the trick is not doing those 2 massive time losses.
You must be feeling yourself that 32 is going to come by the end of the tournament, hopefully.
I think so. I mean, I reckon by the end of the tourney, quite a lot of people will be getting the 32s or the very low 33s. It always happens, it seems, when we have these tournaments. The leaderboards get absolutely trashed. Everyone's try-harding for it. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's exciting.
And you also came second.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I think we keep your up each other. Sorry about that, Ben. I was just going to say, you also came second in the race today, so you did put in a pretty good showing in this race compared to everyone in this race as well today.
It was a good, I guess you'd say, a good race performance. I got way behind at the beginning and just hung on in there. It wasn't the best quality run, but did just enough.
And Dabs just joined us as well. Good game to you, Dabs.
Welcome.
Yo, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, I mean, you were on some really good pace there, and it's just, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, pretty sad, I know. I got the past 2 qualifiers. I got a 34-23 RTA both runs. Exactly the same time.
Wow, that consistency.
Both 30 seconds apart. But I lost the first run. I was so far ahead, and I lost it to losing 2 capes and Wendy. And then, yeah, I died in Darkroom this run, which is awful. Other than that, not so bad.
Was that your only run today, or did you run any of the other runs earlier as well?
I did one right before this one also.
Okay.
I got a 34-23 as well, that one.
Very nice, very nice.
That's incredible, getting the same time. Yeah, I meant to do a couple today. I only did the one, and I was pretty happy with how it went. Obviously, in the restream race, somehow
you won that one.
First. Don't know, I did it again somehow, but yeah, I'm feeling really strong going forward. I definitely feel like I'm peaking in terms of race performance. I just need to push myself. RTA. It's been way too long, and I need to start busting out those strats finally. So I couldn't be happier with how I'm doing.
So I do know if anyone else can be joining us, Ben.
Well, we have a pretty packed room here at the moment. You know, others are welcome to join.
Of course.
I'm not sure. Do you know what's up next on the main channel?
I'll be getting that information for you, but in the meantime, let's go down the line here. I'll start with Shady Force. I think he's been gone the longest without saying anything for a while here. I just want to get everyone's general thoughts on how they feel they stand in regards to this tournament so far. We'll start with Shady Force.
I'm just having a lot of fun with the tournament, and I'm glad I'm starting to improve my time a little. Because I feel these qualifier races, as well as qualifying and seeding, they're also like good practice runs as well. They're like going to be good practice for the races that will come up to single elimination, because that's where it's really going to start. So yeah, I've just had fun. It's going well.
And I think Silver Star, I think you can probably go next with that if you want to answer the same question.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
How do you feel you're doing in regards to like your positioning in regards to this tournament so far? How do you feel about the tournament coming up?
Oh, I'm feeling pretty fantastic for the most part. Got a PB today. Had another run that was also a PB pace. I got sandbar clip, and I lost the cycle still because I scraped a little too much. So yeah, just 2 runs already on PB pace today. That's mind blowing. So I feel like I can perform pretty well. And yeah, fun as well. It's not so fun if you don't get lucky.
Sometimes you have to be lucky to be good, and you have to be good to be lucky.
Yeah, I couldn't say it better myself.
True for FOI2.
Sorry?
It's actually true for FOI2.
Yeah, definitely. Fitz, how do you feel you're doing in regards to this tournament so far? How do you feel your positioning is and your chance of going far in the tournament?
I think I'm getting there. Not quite at Silver's level yet, but I mean, before the tournament was announced, I hadn't done this category or really any category as long as this category. So I think I need a little bit more time to get to grips with it. But it's gone really well so far. Done these 2 qualifiers. Didn't go great, but happy enough. Can do 1 more, and we'll see where we land. I guess I'm not going to have a great seed with that, so maybe I get smashed out in the first round if I'm drawn up against someone like Silver. Maybe not. It depends on the draw, I guess.
And Dabs, I'll give you the same question before we start wrapping up here. Where do you feel you are? Same idea.
The last couple qualifiers probably weren't so great, but I'm just happy I got these 34s in at least. But I definitely want a 33 before these qualifiers end, so that's what I'll be shooting for.
I guess I'm last on the list. Yeah, just as I mentioned earlier, feeling very, very positive about this. Probably performing as well as I would be expected to. Hopefully I'm not peaking, but hopefully I've made it clear that nobody is safe. I mean, if that's to say, if the next round goes anything like this first round, but hopefully I can continue to hold my own.
I guess if Mike wants to answer that question, he can answer that question too, because he was running today.
For sure.
Well, I will definitely say I am having a lot of fun with these. It is very good to see where I need improvement before we actually get into the full tournament, and hopefully I can post a couple of better times throughout these qualifiers before things actually get started. I'm just looking forward to seeing some great races overall.
Indeed. So let's just look ahead at what is coming up after this in terms of this the qualifiers. We still have 3 qualifier sessions coming up here. It's not too late to join these qualifiers. If you are interested in speedrunning this game, type SMW in chat, get more information on how to sign up. And we have 3 more qualifier sessions coming up. The first of those starts at 3 a.m. tonight. That's in about 8.5 hours from now. It goes until about 9 in the morning. And so either night owls here on the eastern side of the world, or western side of the world, I should say. Those over in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and because someone didn't like me not mentioning it earlier, Antarctica, why not, are able to take part in those, as they are more in the daytime hours for those regions, while the rest of us over here sleep in the East Coast. So those are 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. starting tonight, or basically December 3rd, tomorrow, you want to look at it that way, into tomorrow morning. There's another set of qualifiers starting at 4 o'clock on December 5th. That's on Wednesday. So Wednesday, December 5th at 4 o'clock. And we're going to be going into that series for another 3-hour session, or 5-hour session, another 6 qualifiers. The final qualifier session starts at 6 p.m. on December 6th. So if you don't get if you don't have 3 qualifiers by the time that session starts, you have to get in for any that you're missing for that session. After that, if you don't get started by halfway through that session, you're not going to be in the tournament, unfortunately, because you won't have enough qualifiers. So that is the final qualifier session. As of 9 o'clock, December 6th, around then, the qualifier seedings should be able to get started being sorted out, and more information will be determined from then who the matchups will be, and racers can start scheduling their first matches at that point. So tune in for all those qualifier sessions coming up, and we will definitely be broadcasting those here on the Speed Gaming Network. So stay tuned for those in the future. For those who were commentating for me, I just want to thank you for doing the commentary today. We really appreciate having you guys on here as well. Any final thoughts from Mike, Sonic, and maybe even Ben as well?
I'm just excited to see how this tournament turns out. I will definitely be seeing you guys. If I don't proceed in the tournament, you'll definitely be hearing more from me up in the commentary box. So it'll be
welcome up
awesome
here too
with you guys.
It's just great to see the SMW community being represented on Speed Gaming. As a commentator, it's always so much fun working with Speed Gaming, and everything's so professional and just so easy, well organized. It's wonderful. So thanks again to everybody. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun so far.
And I think, Sonic, you said it was your first time doing commentary today. How did you enjoy it? Do you want to do more of it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm super excited to do some more commentating in the upcoming tournament. Definitely this week with the qualifiers. I'm also trying to getting some more times myself. See if I can improve my PB and find myself worthy enough of joining this tournament, which is also a first one for me. So
very, very nice. Well, it was nice to have you both up here in the box today, and also W. Carrick earlier, who joined in the first 3 races and had to go after that. So thank you to him for doing commentary today as well. And I see he's already volunteered for the overnight sessions, so you might see more of him overnight as well for the late races this evening. So stay tuned for those this evening, and you'll see him there as well, I think. So
I also just I just realized that you did the clean sweep today. You did 6 out of 6 matches. That's incredible.
I had only signed up for the first 2 or 3, so I just stayed because you know what, I was having fun, and why not?
Yeah, I did that in session 1, and it didn't feel like an hour.
Pardon me?
It didn't even feel like an hour. I did that in session 1. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I know I'm going to be on the mic again in a couple hours doing, and I was just going to talk about that shortly because I'm going to be talking about the upcoming schedule here on Speed Gaming. But I know I'll be on the mic in a couple hours for a race as well. So I definitely enjoy doing the commentary, and it's a lot of fun to be able to have the back and forth chat with other people knowledgeable of the game and be able to bring all the information about what's going on to all the viewers who are watching. Definitely a very fun experience. So with that said, let me cover what is coming up on that schedule I was just talking about. We do have right now starting a Link to the Past Randomizer Fall 2018 tournament race. This is a race for those of you who have not been following the randomizer or the tournament. This is a series of races that are all being done with random seeds. The different qualifications, the different goals, the different whether the uncle gives you a sword or some kind of weapon or what happens, all that is randomized. You may have different kind of conditions where keys are shuffled around, or you have to deal with arrows costing money like in Zelda 1, all these different things. Check that out. The race coming on right now, there is JP versus Clo Prower, and it is a all dungeons open randomized hard retro. I have commentated a hard retro race before in this tournament. It is a difficult task doing a hard retro. So that might be something to check out over on Speed Gaming 4. Other events that are on right now is started about an hour and a half ago, Donkey Kong Country All Stages Tournament. That's a 2 out of 3 sets, so they're probably in Game 2 right now, or maybe even coming near the start of Game 3 if it's needed. So check that out on Speed Gaming 5. Speed Gaming 3 has a really, really long-a-thon going on. That's an ongoing event. That's going to be on there for a good while. And on Speed Gaming 2, we have Metroid Zero Mission at 7 o'clock, Zelda 1 Randomizer at 8 o'clock, and the Zelda 1 Randomizer, they're getting to the final phases of their event as well. So that is something you may definitely want to check out as well. And I mentioned I'm going to be on commentary in a couple hours myself. I'll be doing the 8:30 matchup on Speed Gaming 5. So if you like listening to me, that's where I'll be at 8:30. So I'll see you over there. Other than that, lots of events going on here. And just check speedgaming.org/schedule or type !schedule in chat. You can get more information on all events on the Speed Gaming Network. That's a Google Calendar. You can see everything listed there as it's updated. So with that said, anything else from anyone here today before we wrap up?
I will see all of you guys in about 8 hours then for the next qualifiers.
Yep, that's Ben. Ben, definitely enjoy the overnight qualifiers here. I will be sleeping.
I probably will be sleeping, but I've got an alarm set anyway. I might wake up for 5 minutes and then check out the race room. Yeah, we're expecting a lot of the J runners in there. It's potentially going to be very, very competitive.
And I would hope so. Anyone else have any comments before we wrap up?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you for having me tonight. It was a real honor and a good experience for me to start off commentating. Also looking forward to tomorrow's qualifiers, which are an unfortunate time for me. So thank you for having me, and have a good night.
Yeah, thanks everybody behind the scenes this weekend. You guys definitely killed it. It was an awesome weekend for sure.
Yes, thank you for the commentary and restream, and I might actually check out that later one at 3 a.m. tonight. I probably won't be in it myself. Probably be too tired to play, but I definitely want to watch it if a lot of J runners are in there.
Yes, I for one will also be tuning into that. You'll probably see me in chat, delirious from lack of sleep. So it'll be great. Y'all should all tune in for that as well.
Take care, everybody. Thanks again, Cyclone, for all the commentary. It's been awesome.
And I was just gonna say I'll say goodnight to everyone for now until I'm back later. And keep in mind to stay tuned to this channel as well. One event I did not mention coming up on this channel momentarily. We're gonna have a Super Metroid Link to the Past randomizer race at 7:30 on this channel. So stay tuned to this channel as well. And you can see a combination of Super Metroid Link to the Past randomized mixed together, items in both worlds. Very, very interesting way to do a randomizer. So stay tuned to that as well. So with that said, I think this is a good point to wrap up. But because, Ben, I believe you're the tournament administrator, if I'm not mistaken. So
one of them, I guess. But yeah, that's just my assumed position, I think, at this point.
Well, that's my understanding anyway. But because of that, I'm going to give you the final word and say goodnight to everyone for now, and stay tuned for the other events later. You get the final word, Ben.
Orb.
Good night.
Good night, guys.